Ever get that feeling when you're signing like a super important document, for a loan or a property? And there's that moment when you're like, wait, what exactly does a notary do?
Hmm.
You're not alone. Today, we're diving headfirst into the world of Texas notaries. It's way more interesting than you might think. And our guide for this deep dive is the work of Phyllis E. Traylor, who knows a thing or two about this.
It's funny you mentioned that feeling because most people, they just don't realize how crucial notaries are. We're talking about preventing fraud here.
Mm.
Phyllis actually shares this, well, it's kind of a wild story, in her Substack, mytexasnotary.biz,
Mhm.
about this notary who actually stopped someone, right, from using a fake ID to sign a power of attorney. It could have been a total disaster.
Whoa, okay, so forget those boring office supply commercials. This is serious stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Notaries are often like the first line of defense against identity theft and forgery. They're trained to spot those red flags,
Well,
verify identities, make sure everything is legit. Imagine them as those detail-oriented detectives that you see in the movies, except their magnifying glass is a notary seal.
and to think, I always pictured them just, stamping papers. This is way more dynamic. But why Texas specifically? Is being a notary here that different?
Well, Texas has some unique requirements,
Huh?
and a booming real estate market. I mean, huge demand for notaries, especially those who specialize. Phyllis, she focuses on those 50 and over and military veterans, highlighting how their existing skills make them like a perfect fit for this.
Okay, I am hooked. Let's unpack that. What makes those groups so well suited for the world of notaries?
Well, think about it. Military veterans, they often have experience with handling sensitive documents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Following those strict protocols, paying attention to detail. Those skills translate so well to the notary world.
It's like their training has already prepped them for this kind of like precision-based work. What about those over 50?
Well, they bring years of professional experience, right?
Yeah.
Managing finances, dealing with legal documents, you name it. They've honed those interpersonal skills, that sense of responsibility, which builds trust, right?
Mm.
And that's crucial when you're dealing with someone's most important paperwork.
It's like having that perfect background, but it's not just like signing on the dotted line, is it? Phyllis is big on ethics and avoiding mistakes. What are some of the things new notaries should watch out for?
Yeah, you're right. It's not as simple as it seems from the outside. Phyllis actually talks about how even small slip-ups, they can have huge consequences, like forgetting to ID someone properly or even using the wrong notary seal.
Okay, but those sound like pretty easy mistakes to make. Why are they such a big deal?
Well, because a notary signature, it's more than just ink on paper. It's a legally binding assurance that everything is how it should be above board. So let's say a notary, they miss a signature or they don't verify someone's identity properly. That document could be considered invalid. Lawsuits, even derailing a whole real estate deal.
Wow, I never realized how much weight that notary stamp actually carries. It's about protecting everyone.
Exactly. And that's why Phyllis, she stresses ongoing learning.
Mm.
Laws change, new scams all the time. Good notaries, they need to stay sharp.
Like a lifelong student of proper procedure. So we talked about experience, ethics. What about building a successful business? Phyllis mentioned specializing. What does that actually look like?
Well, that's where things get interesting. You could stick with general notary work, sure, but there are lucrative niches. Loan signings, for example.
Loan signings. Okay. Now, I've heard that phrase, but I don't really get it. What happens at a loan signing?
Basically, it's when someone's signing the final documents for, like a mortgage or a big loan. It's a lot of paperwork. And because it's such a major financial transaction, having a notary there makes sure everything is signed and witnessed correctly.
Ah, so that's where the whole preventing fraud really comes in. And you said this is a hot area.
Oh, absolutely. Especially in a real estate market like Texas. Lenders, title companies, they're always looking for good notaries who specialize in this.
So you can carve out a niche by really understanding those specific documents. Phyllis also talks about being a mobile notary now. That just sounds cool. What are the perks of, taking your notary skills on the road?
Well, imagine this. You need a document notarized, but you're juggling work, kids, all of it. Wouldn't it be great if the notary could come to you? That's the beauty of being mobile. You're providing convenience, flexibility. Clients love it.
No kidding. You're meeting people on their terms, their turf. What are the advantages for the notary, though, especially for, veterans or people over 50 who are looking for a change?
It's empowering,
Right.
right? Especially for those who want, a flexible lifestyle. Imagine you set your own hours, you choose your clients. You could potentially even earn more. Phyllis shares some great stories, actually, on her Substack about retirees who have built these thriving mobile notary businesses. traveling around their communities, meeting new people.
That sounds pretty great.
Yeah.
But I imagine being a mobile notary, it comes with its own, unique challenges too.
Oh, absolutely. You're basically running your own business,
Yeah.
right? Organization, self-motivation, time management. And then the whole logistical side. You're on the move, dealing with traffic, scheduling, making sure you've got all the right documents.
And I bet you meet some characters along the way. It takes a special kind of person to thrive in that.
You're telling me. But Phyllis, she provides like a roadmap, practical advice, everything from setting up a mobile office to marketing your services.
It's more than just being a notary. It's like being an entrepreneur, a master of logistics, a people person, all in one.
Yeah.
Phyllis also talks about networking. It seems crucial. What makes it so important for notaries?
Networking is huge, especially for those new to the field. Remember, we talked about the importance of ethics, avoiding those mistakes. A support network of other notaries, that's invaluable. Sharing knowledge, best practices, even just moral support.
So it's having that built-in support system to
Yeah.
navigate the challenges, celebrate the successes.
Exactly. Phyllis, she really pushes finding a mentor, going to industry events, joining those online communities, learning from each other, staying updated,
Yeah.
making those connections.
It's like that saying, it's not just what you know, it's who you know. Only in this case, it's both.
You got it. And that brings us back to Phyllis's main point, really. Being a successful notary, it's more than just stamping those papers. It's about taking those skills and being committed to learning ethical conduct, having that genuine desire to help people, with those moments that need a notary seal.
It's really amazing to me how much I just didn't know about, like, this whole world of being a notary. It's like we pulled back the curtain and there's this whole system there.
It is, isn't it? And you know what gets me? It's Phyllis's focus on empowerment. This isn't just a job. It's a chance for people, especially over 50 or coming out of the military. They can really use their experience and build something for themselves.
For sure. It's taking control of what you're good at, always learning and finding that career path that works for you.
And for our listeners, even if you're not about to become a notary yourself, there's a lot here we can all use. That attention to detail, making those professional connections, understanding that even little things, they can have big consequences. That's important for anything, really.
It really is whatever you're doing, you got to do it right?
Exactly.
So to everyone listening, if any of this has piqued your interest, if you're looking for a new path, something with flexibility, something with a purpose, or even if you just want to hear from someone who's passionate about, well, doing things right, I highly recommend checking out Phyllis E. Traylor's Substack, mytexasnotary.biz. And hey, maybe we'll see you at a notary convention sometime. You never know.